What's going on, everybody? I am back. Man, glad to be back. I've been gone for a couple of weeks. Had a cold. It's crazy to think in 2022 now. I don't think I haven't done a show this year, but it's crazy to think 2022 you could be sick and not have COVID. So that's what I was going with. I had two tests. Was not COVID positive, but I was sick, so I was out for a minute. But now I'm back. So we are back, better than ever, ready to get this shit going. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching. Now let's get to the show.
Real life, real sports, black and white, just sports. One height, one source, black and white, just sports. Whatever sport, we gon' have the latest news. Just sports is a vibe, it's a mood. Grab a drink, grab a snack or some food. We gon' put it all together like glue. Real life, real sports, black and white, just sports. One height, one source, black and white. Just sports, whatever sport, we gon' have the latest news. Just sports is a vibe, it's a mood. Grab a drink, grab a snack or some food. We gon' put it all together like glue. Straight to the point. Guess who won the game by how many of the points? Anything about the game, this the one and only joint. Black and white game, black and white, just sports. NBA, NFL, we got it all. We got the news if it's dealing with a ball. You know the hype, black and white, just sports, y'all. It's a vibe, black and white, just sports, y'all.
So what's going on, everybody? As I said before, I am back. I'm Pat, as you all know, for Black and White Just Sports. I'm here with the latest episode. Like I was saying in the intro, I was sick, man. I was down for a couple weeks. Thought I had COVID. Took 2 COVID tests, 2 of them, and they both came negative, thank goodness. So, hey, I'm back. Cold's gone. I'm good to go. But y'all should already know. You see the star. You know what's up. The playoffs begin tomorrow. I'm recording this on Friday. It's Friday when I'm making this show. The playoffs start tomorrow, Saturday, January 15th is the beginning of the playoffs. I am excited. Excuse me. A little bummed because, playoffs start, you know what happens, the end of the season's coming. So, although it's going to be some amazing football, the end of the NFL season is upon us, which really sucks. Either way, like I said, tomorrow the playoffs begin. Where's this little thing at right here? I don't even have my... Oh, here it goes. Shit. Alright. So let's check this out. The games tomorrow, we have the Raiders and Bengals. I think this should be a pretty good game. The Raiders slid into the playoffs here, the end of the season. They ended up beating the Chargers. Let me just double check. Yeah, they ended up beating the Chargers by a field goal. Gets them into the playoffs. Got the Steelers into the playoffs somehow. The Steelers went on a roll the end of the season. Ben Roethlisberger looks like he's 65 years old and has no arm. He's literally just throwing it with his elbows. He's terrible. And because the Raiders beat the Chargers, the Steelers got in. Terrible. The Browns suck. They ended up winning their season finale against the Bengals, which everyone was sitting. Doesn't mean shit. It's over. Baker Mayfield is going to be back. A little sidebar. Baker Mayfield is going to be back for the Browns. Not excited for this whatsoever. Of course, I give him this much of an excuse with his shoulder injury, but outside of that, he's going into his 5th year, if I'm not mistaken. He's looked good 1 year out of 5. Looked okay the second half of last year, and there's not much else to speak about that man's career, but he'll be back next year unless they make some moves in the offseason, which, they should. All right. But anyways, back to the playoffs, the games that actually matter. Raiders versus the Bengals. I think this is a really good game. Bengals have no playoff experience whatsoever. They haven't won a playoff game in, I think it's like 31 years is the last time the Cincinnati Bengals, straighten out that star, man. Come on, you know what it is. You already know where I'm going for the whole thing. But yeah, the Bengals have not won a playoff game, and I think it's roughly about 31 years, I think I heard. So they got to climb an uphill battle just off of history. But that boy Joe Burrow, listen, that boy's a problem. He's going to be atop of this league for years and years to come. He has a chance, just looking at him his first 2 years, he has a chance to be, I mean, I'm not even going to say a chance. He will be top 5 in this league as far as quarterback play goes on from, the years of future. Next 10 years, probably at least, he'll be a top 5 quarterback. Derek Carr has been stellar his whole career. I like the Bengals are at home. It's just a new atmosphere in that building. New coaches, new players, a whole new facelift from back in the Andy Dalton days or the Carson Palmer days when I actually believe in this team. I never really believed in Carson Palmer, although he blew up the league for a couple years and then got injured and was a decent quarterback the rest of his career. Andy Dalton was never a quarterback I took for real. He was just a game manager, basically. I mean, he did his job. They got to the playoffs multiple years, but never did anything when they got there. The Raiders, I don't know, man. Like, Waller should be there. Jacobs there. Deshaun Jackson has that deep threat. Outside there, I mean, Renfro, can get you some things, but they really don't have much on the side of the offensive end. And I mean, listen, they're 10-7 for a reason. They got into the playoffs for a reason. They were good enough, but I just don't see them overcoming a road game in January in Cincinnati against this high-powered Bengals offense. This Bengals offense is ridiculous, and they're going to put up some points tomorrow. I'm going Bengals. I guess I really didn't explain well. I guess I'm just going to talk about a couple of the playoff games that are coming up. Throw my prediction out there, and then we'll see where we go from there. But, yeah, Bengals over the Raiders, man. Joe Burrow is a problem. He got a week off from, he got his knee banged up weeks. We got 18 weeks now, so week 17, he got banged up a little bit, sat out the Browns game, rested up for this game to play, at home. Like I said, he was on fire. The Bengals have been a problem all year. They've knocked off some good teams. I'm going Bengals over Raiders. The Saturday night game is the Patriots versus the Bills. I mean, listen, Bill Belichick has this team back in the playoffs. He had a shitty year last year, dealt with Cam Newton, and just whatever he could basically find at the bottom of the barrel, and they had a terrible year. He's got this team to 10-7, got them back into the playoffs. Mac Jones has been a good rookie. I mean, he hasn't blown up the league. What did he do this year? So 3,800 yards, 22 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, 92.5 QB rating. I mean, did his damn job, man. Better than fucking stupid Baker Mayfield on the Browns. But so, I mean, Mac Jones has done his job this year. He looks like a pretty legit quarterback. First year in the playoffs, first year in the NFL. Whole different story. I mean, the Bills have been there before. They've been in the playoffs. The Patriots are on the road, correct? Patriots on the road. Josh Allen. I'm sure it's going to be fucking cold as shit up in Buffalo. But they've been utilizing Singletary a lot lately. Past couple of weeks. Look for him to be a vital option in this game. Of course, you got Diggs. Knox is a solid tight end. Emmanuel Sanders, did he do much this year? Can't remember hearing about him too much. But listen, I mean, Josh Allen will just throw that ball wherever he wants. Don't get me wrong, Bill Belichick, man, he's got time to prepare. The playoffs are a different beast. This is where he has succeeded. Obviously, the man has, 7 rings, 6 rings. So, obviously, he's done it before. But I like the Bills, man. The Patriots are new. Although I went with the Bengals, and this is the Bengals' first year. I like Joe Burrow over Mac Jones, number one. Joe Burrow has been here a year already, even though they didn't make the playoffs last year. But he's been around the league for at least a year. Mac Jones, first season, first time in the playoffs. They don't have a lot of weapons. I mean, they just don't. I mean, the Patriots have never really had a lot of weapons. Anyways, Damian Harris is all right. Stevenson's been all right. I mean, their running back room is just a carousel of who's going to play basically all the time. But I mean, Myers, not bad, but they don't have a lot to work with. I'm going Bills over the Patriots for sure. That's so next week. Oh wait, what? They're doing a Monday night playoff game? That's wild. That's sweet. Sunday you have 3 games on Sunday. Eagles, Buccaneers. Eagles came around, man. I gave them no credit all year. Finished 9-8. They squeak into the playoffs. The Bucks, man, they're banged up. Goodwin's gone. I know Fournette was down for a minute. I think he might be back. It's a quick peek. See if they got that injury report out yet. Injury report right here. Tampa Bay out. Ronald Jones questionable. Reserve injured. Fournette activation window is open, but he's on the reserve injured. So, I mean, maybe he could play, but right now he's not. Again, Goodwin's out. Antonio Brown had his big-ass meltdown. That happened while I was away. That's a whole nother story I'll try to touch on a little bit. But Antonio Brown's gone, so, I mean, you got... What do you got here? You got Mike Evans. You still got Gronk. Fournette, if he's healthy. Goodwin's done. I mean, Le'Veon Bell, don't expect anything from him. I thought he was... Is he was done? Scotty Miller, Like I said, Ronald Jones is out. Perryman's been alright. But you also have the GOAT. You know what I mean? You have Tom Brady. And that's just saying enough. I don't see this game being close. They're in Tampa. Okay. Jalen Hurts has been pretty decent. But nothing crazy. Of course, they got Devontae Smith. And they got a few weapons. Jordan Howard, Scott. Is Howard playing? They've had a little bit of a carousel with their running backs this year, too. But listen. Jalen Hurts against Tom Brady is just not going to happen. Tom Brady, watch this team put up a bunch of points. I don't think it's going to be very close. Buccaneers, I think, easily win this game. This should be the game of the week. I don't know why it's a 4:30 game, and you have the fucking Steelers playing at 8 o'clock. That's ridiculous. 49ers, Cowboys should be a really good game. Of course, Garoppolo has been having some issues with his hand or thumb or finger. I forget which one it was. I believe one of his fingers. But, of course, Deebo Samuel, Kelsey, they got some playmakers on that San Francisco offense. But the Dallas Cowboys, how about them boys? Let's go. Let's get it. You already know. You see the star in the hat. You know I'm going with already. Dak Prescott had a little bit of a rough ending there towards the end of the season. But, shit, they put up 50 against the Eagles last game of the season. I was really upset. Luckily, it didn't come back to bite me in the ass, but I had Dak Prescott on my fantasy football team, which, by the way, I won. I am the champion 2 years in a row fantasy football. I'm a motherfucking beast. I do this. Basically a fucking genius when it comes to fantasy football. 2 years in a row, you're champ. Bang, bang, bang. I'm going to fucking have the trophy on the show one of these days. But either way, sat Dak for week 17 because stupid ESPN if I would have lost, I would have been extremely pissed at ESPN. ESPN had Dak Prescott projected for like 24.1 points, somewhere around there, 24, 25 points was projected to play. Then the reports started coming out that Dak probably won't play the whole game. Maybe he'll get a couple series or a half, and that's it. This man ended up playing the whole game, having like 34 yards, threw like 400 yards and 3 touchdowns. Luckily, it didn't end up biting me in the ass. I swapped him out for fucking Taysom Hill, who went down in like the second quarter. Luckily, that didn't lose me the game. But I would have been so pissed because ESPN changed right before the game started. Dak Prescott from like 24, 25 points down to like 11 points. They thought he wasn't playing, so I took him out. Almost bit me in the ass. Luckily, it didn't, and I'm still the champ. So there we go with that. But either way, yeah, this offense is ridiculous. Of course, Dak Prescott. You got CeeDee Lamb, fucking amazing receiver. Cooper, always there when you need him. Pollard's a beast. Zeke's been having a rough go at it lately. Kind of came around, last couple weeks, or at least last week against the Eagles. He had a decent game. But I think this should be a really good game. Cowboys defense has been rolling. But, of course, Cowboys over the 49ers. I think they'll both put up some points, but Cowboys definitely winning this game. And like I said, this shitty fucking Sunday night game, I don't understand why they scheduled it this way. Maybe there's some fucking Ben Roethlisberger fanboys. I don't know. It's stupid and ridiculous. But Chiefs Steelers, the 8:15 game Sunday, Chiefs should blow them out. Like I said, Ben Roethlisberger looks like he has no arms throwing this ball anymore. It's ridiculous. He's looked terrible. And despite his terrible play, they've won the past few weeks somehow and squeaked into the fucking playoffs. And here we are. I got to fucking deal with his ass one more time before he's gone. He came out and said that this is his last year. He's retiring. So he gets a fucking run at the playoffs. I mean, don't get me wrong. They got some talent. Claypool, good receiver. Najee Harris, probably rookie of the year. Good running back. You got Juju Smith-Schuster is supposed to be coming back from that shoulder injury. And then Deontay Johnson is a good receiver as well. So don't get me wrong. They got some weapons. It's just you can't do much when you have fucking Ben Roethlisberger that can't throw the ball down the field and is throwing like 100 yards a game. This should be a blowout. I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't, but it should be. I'm still going Chiefs. Chiefs should blow out these stupid Steelers Sunday night. And then a very, very good game Monday, which I didn't realize it was a Monday night game. The Rams-Cardinals. Rams are at home. Rams' offense is ridiculous. Speaking of fantasy football, earlier I had Cooper Kupp on my team. Best fantasy football player this year. He averaged like 45 points. Just a fucking monster. Thank you, Cooper Kupp. Shout out to you, my guy. Helped me get the fucking championship. But should be a really good game. I mean, the Cardinals had some issues coming down the end of the season. They had some struggles, some injuries. But hey, they still got a decent offense. They don't have Hopkins. He's not playing. So I think that'll be the biggest thing, and that's going to be their biggest struggles. I look for the Rams to put up some points. They're at home. Playoff game in L.A. Crowd should be crazy. Watch the Rams put up like 35. Should be a good game, but Rams for sure. Without Hopkins, the Cardinals aren't going anywhere. Rams over the Cardinals for the Monday night game. I am off work too, so I will be watching that as well. Good fucking weekend for football, man. Some good games for sure. Little couple things I spoke on. I won't touch on everything in detail, but Georgia beat Alabama in the national championship for the NCAA college football. Shout out to them. I'm not a Georgia fan, but I don't like Alabama. I'm tired of them winning. Fucking Nick Saban has 35 national championships. Michigan and Cincinnati got in. Cincinnati got manhandled by Georgia. And, Cincinnati played Alabama easily, which, I mean, I think most people come to expect it. They're a low-tier Division I college team. Don't get me wrong, they've always been in the mix at, like 25 range for some years now. They got up to number 4 did not look like they belong. I mean, it's hard to play against fucking Alabama, whoever you are. Michigan got spanked by Georgia. Shit wasn't even close. Good. Fuck those guys. Fuck Michigan. And then Georgia ends up beating Alabama, which cool little change, but still Georgia. Nobody cares. At least I don't, anyways. Oh yeah, like I was saying, Antonio Brown. Another issue with another coach and another team. I mean, he's been released from the Steelers, the Raiders, the Patriots, and now the Buccaneers. Something happened middle of the game where story got crazy. There was reports that Antonio Brown, first was being reported, Antonio Brown has some incentives that he would have made more money if they got him in like certain snaps or certain amount of catches or certain amount of yards, and he would have got X amount of dollars on top of his salary. That was said to come out first, and that's why he got into it with Bruce Arians. Bruce Arians threw him off the field, or he left. Then it comes out that Antonio Brown was injured. He said that he talked to the coach, he talked to the health staff, and let them know that he's not 100% to go. He doesn't feel like he could suit up, but he doesn't feel like he can go and be an effective player. And Bruce Arians wasn't happy about that, so he said, "Listen, you ain't playing. Get the fuck out of here." Basically, I'm not taking no sissies on my team. You either play or get out of here. And when Antonio Brown said he couldn't play, Bruce Arians gave him the boot, and Antonio Brown takes off his helmet, his jersey, down to his bare chest, and doing jumping jacks off the field, basically, kind of skipping, jogging away. And people were like, "Oh, well, if he's hurt, how's he doing that?" If it was true, I don't know. I mean, I don't think they ever kind of resolved it, even at this point. But I mean, even if he was hurt, a lot of people don't know that there's a difference between kind of like jogging at a low pace and, pushing off your feet and your legs and doing cuts full speed, getting pushed or pushing off on people. It's a whole different fucking beast compared to just like, a light jog. So, I mean, it came out, I guess his foot's fucked up. He needs to have surgery, and he plans on coming back next year if someone will have him. I mean, who the fuck? I mean, someone's going to take him probably, but maybe not. I mean, the man's had so many issues with so many teams now. We'll see what happens. Let me see what else. Then he ends up doing, fucking like listening parties with Kanye West. There was a photo going around, either Twitter or Instagram or both. It was him, Antonio Brown, Floyd Mayweather, Kanye West, whoever Kanye West is dating, and Madonna. We're all in this room fucking listening to some song Kanye made. It was a weird group of individuals. Let's see what else. Yeah, man, I was on a road, man. Every week I was hitting y'all with the show, and I get cold. And I just wasn't feeling it, man. And some things came up where I couldn't get it going last week. But I'm back, thank goodness. Zach LaVine got injured. They're going to give it an MRI, I believe, tomorrow to make sure it's not serious. A lot of coaches got fired. At the end of the season, Lakers are still struggling. We'll touch up on some NBA news here. Bam, I can never say his name right. Adebayo, there we go. From Miami Heat, should be coming back. I think they're talking about Monday he'll be back. Let's see. Klay Thompson came back. Congratulations to that guy. 2 years of, being injured. And he got back on the court last Saturday, I believe it was, against the Cavs. How did he do? I didn't get to check that game out, but I know he scored a few points. He looked good. I think he's been playing since. He had 14 points the other day against the Grizzlies, 11 against the Bucks, and they haven't played the Bulls yet. So, I mean, hey, bring him back slowly. 21 minutes. He's having about, playing half the game. That's fine. Good for him. Nice to see him back after 2 years of being injured. I mean, he still got to prove he could play at a high level, but it's good for him, man. 2 years, that's rough. Injured 2 years in a row. Ja Morant's just been like fucking just doing the damn thing, man. Shout out to him. I think Grizzlies are fucking fifth in the West right now, if I'm not mistaken. Third right now, 30-14, man. Ja Morant's just been on a tear. They beat the Warriors. They beat up on the Lakers. He's making kids give him his freaking Steph Curry jerseys. There was a kid in the crowd the other day when they played the Warriors, had a Steph Curry jersey. I guess one of the high five. He's like, no, you got the wrong jersey on. Then he did a cool little thing, like, to the fans. Like, if you bring in a jersey from another team, I'll give you, my jersey. So that's really cool. I really like Ja Morant, man. So that we couldn't get him to the Knicks a couple years ago, but it is what it is. So yeah, Ja Morant's been on a fucking tear. He's a fucking beast. I guess Zion Williamson has started doing some rehab or conditioning up in Portland. He's not even with the team. I've been saying this guy's either going to shut it down or just get him out of there. He's doing conditioning with team officials or health cares or doctors around, but he's in Portland. So, I mean, do whatever that is. COVID's been running rampant through the NBA. A lot of people have been down, and I guess it's their injury. You know how they used to do the sit players for all these years just to get some rest and shit. So that's probably a good replacement for the rest days is the COVID days. So, it's affected every team. Every team's been hit by the COVID bug and kind of where we are at this point. Cam Reddish got traded to the Knicks. I'm excited because they got rid of fucking Knox. Knox has been trash his whole career with the Knicks. But, Reddish hasn't done much. So hopefully it's a change of scenery and new system helps elevate this guy's game. Because I thought he would be good coming out of Duke, out of college. Just never lived up to the hype in Atlanta. But my Knicks got him. So hopefully we'll see what happens. Hopefully he turns it around and has a nice little career out there in New York. Kyrie came back. I can't remember if I was talking about him the last time we did an episode. He came back. He's been playing a couple games on the road. Still cannot play at home. Has not been vaccinated. Will not be able to play home games. But there might be a loophole come down the road where they can pay a small fine. I heard it was like really small, in terms of NBA money where he could play at home. So watch for the playoffs to come if nothing's changed, that they start paying that fucking fine to have him play at home games. But Kyrie's back. He looked good. He's picking up where he left off. The Grizzlies have 11-game win streak, man. Like I said, them boys are balling. Ja Morant's something special. That's about it as far as the news. I think I've kind of missed. As far as the NBA, like I said, the Grizzlies are on a fucking tear. 11-game win streak. They're third in the West. Suns keep rolling. They're quietly the top of the West. I think best record in the league, actually, 31-9, yes. Warriors are still there. Only helps that they get Klay Thompson back. They're number 2. The Grizzlies 3. Jazz quietly in the top 5 as usual. They've had some sicknesses. Mavericks, I haven't really been paying attention to them, but they're up at 5. Nuggets are still in the top 8 somehow. Lakers continue to struggle. They're 500 right now, man. They're 5-5 over the last 10. Under 500 on the road, 7-10 on the road, only 14-11 at home. So they're struggling. They haven't gotten together. Stupid Anthony Davis is out again as usual. So that guy's a bum, man, just a bum. Clippers are the AFC with with their injuries and not having Kawhi. They're still AFC. Timberwolves 9th. They've looked better than they have in years past. So I don't think they'll get to the playoffs, but they've looked better. Trailblazers are 10. They're having a huge disappointing season. And then Dame Lillard just had abdominal surgery for them cramps he was having. He's gone 6 to 8 weeks. So yeah, they're not making the playoffs. I think the playoffs are set as the teams are. 1 through 8. Where they finish, I'm not 100% sure. But 1 through 8 that I just read off: Suns, Warriors, Grizzlies, Jazz, Mavericks, Nuggets, Lakers, and Clippers. That will be the playoffs. The East, man, the Cavs continue to surprise a lot of people. They're 6 right now. I think they were all the way up to 5th, maybe. or 6, but 24-18, man, great fucking team. I love watching those young kids. Big, big blow to the team. Ricky Rubio went out with an injury a week or two ago. But they ended up trading for Rondo, man. Big fucking pickup in my opinion. You have that veteran presence, that leader presence, that guy that's been there and won it to help lead these guys. And they're beating some good teams as of late. Like I said, Saturday was Klay Thompson's return. They lost to the Warriors on the road. Beat the Kings, beat the Jazz. And they're winning right now against the Spurs. So, and they play the Thunder, Nets, Bulls, Thunder, Knicks, Bucks. So they got a decent schedule coming up. But yeah, man, they've been a real joy to watch this year. A big surprise, and probably the biggest surprise in the NBA. Bulls are up top. They've been having some sicknesses. Like I said, Zach LaVine had the injury. He's going to have the MRI to make sure it's not serious. What else? The Heat, number 2. Shocks me. I haven't been paying attention to them at all, man. Oh, head itches, sorry. Number 2. And like I said, Bam Adebayo is about to be back, I believe, Monday, so that just helps them. Nets are 3. They're still up there. They've been having some injuries, some sicknesses. You know, of course, without Kyrie half the season. Bucks are 4th. 76ers. Hey, Joe Embiid's been balling. Give it to that man. He's doing his thing without stupid Ben Simmons. He's still nowhere to be found, so there's that. He had 25 and 11. He had 31 the other night against the Rockets, 31 against the Hornets, and another 25 against the Celtics. So he's been doing his thing. Nasty fucking big man. Probably the best big man in the league. Boom, boom, boom. Again, Cavs are 6. Hornets doing the thing. Love watching LaMelo Ball play. What else we got going? Raptors somehow are 8. Whenever I've watched them, they've looked terrible. The Wizards have fallen off. I think they were all the way up to like 4 at some point this year. Now they're number 9. They're out of the playoffs right now. 5-5 their last 10, but they've won 3 in a row, so we'll see what happens. Knicks, been a disappointment. They're 21-21. Right there in the mix with the AFC. You got the Hawks have been disappointing. They're 17-23. I don't know what the hell happened. I mean, they looked like a fucking real contender last year, especially the playoffs, and now they're not even in the top 8. So we'll see what happens there. Let's see. I'm just reading ESPN reported the Lakers are optimistic Anthony Davis returns by the end of the month. Get that guy out of here. Like I said, LaVine injures his knee. He's going to have an MRI, I believe, tomorrow to make sure it's not serious. RJ Barrett's, again, teaming up with Cam Reddish to bring Reddish in. Hopefully it helps. He's been having okay last few games. That's all I can really think of. Like I said, I was out for a couple weeks sick, but I'm back. Quick little episode, nothing crazy. I'm gonna get more in depth. Missed the holidays. Merry Christmas to those. Kwanzaa and Hanukkah. Hope everyone had happy holidays with that. Hope everyone had a happy New Year. It was another rough year. 2022 fresh start. Hopefully everyone's having a good year. We're 2 weeks into the new year, 2022. Like I said, the changes are coming. As you see, I've been doing the show by myself lately, so that was the big change. I'm considering bringing in a co-host, someone else to do this show with. We'll see. Still got to work a couple things out and see how that goes. I'm going to try to do some interviews with people this year, mainly local guys here in Ohio. High school coaches, former players, things of that nature. I know there's some people I know that I played football with that are authors now. I know some guys from school that are coaches now and have succeeded very well. I know some coaches in other states. There's some athletes out there, are former athletes I know. So I'm going to try to get some interviews going and see where that leads the show. But yeah, man, hey, I'm back. It's the new year. Happy New Year, like I said. And we're just gonna keep this thing rolling, man. When I say we, me and you guys, maybe I'll have something for Dante on the side. Do his little bits if he wants to. But again, like I said, unfortunately, things just weren't working out. Getting the show done with both of us, so we had to make a tough decision to kind of go our ways with that. So, like I said, but I'm still here. The show's still rolling. I'm back. Only bigger and better things coming. Watch out for, like I said, these interviews. I'm gonna start contacting some people, try to get them to get an interview in, and we'll work that out, and we'll go from there. So, just watch, continue to support, continue to subscribe, share the videos, all that shit, man. I love y'all. Thank you for joining me into the new year, and let's keep this thing going. All right, peace out.